Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for Lunchtime Look. My name is Sharon Rogers, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine. And every Thursday at noon, I like to bring you a simple project, and usually it's a simple and quick project. This one is slowed down just a little bit because we have several runs through a die cutting machine. But other than that, it's a very simple card, and it's a fun fold. Let's check it out. We are going to be creating a fun fold today, and it's a fairly common one called a Z-fold. We will start with a piece of cloud cover that measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches. We're going to score that at 5 1/2, which is the halfway point. Then we're going to score it at the halfway point of one of these halves. So half of 5 1/2 is 2 3/4. So we'll just slide down here to 2 3/4. And we're going to fold that. And then to create the Z fold, we just accordion fold it. So fold it in half like this. And then I'll fold this front flap back. And that's our Z fold. Now we're going to need our designer series paper on here. And so we will put our designer series paper here, and we're also going to place it here. And I may find another piece. Oh, look, this is also monochromatically correct here. We're going to put that inside as well. So let's bring in our paper cutter again. This time, instead of scoring, we're going to be cutting. So for this inside piece, I need something that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So let's see, I want it landscape, so we'll want this to be 5 1/4. And then we'll need 4 inches tall. And then for the front piece, remember this was 2 3/4 this way by 4 1/4. So I need the layer to be 4 by 2 1/2. I'll need another sheet of designer series paper here. So I want 4 by 2 1/2. So let's go with 2 1/2 right here. And we'll go with 4. These just get adhered down. So there's 4 by 2 3/4 down. Okay, I've got that pretty well centered. And then we take the other one, do the same thing. I do have a pretty good size piece here. I can flip this over, but I'm not really fond of how these two go together. They do go together, but I want a little bit more white, and this is a little bit more subdued. So I'm not going to use this piece right here. I'm just going to keep this like this right now. And we need a focal point here. I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white. It's just a scrap, and I'm using Secret Sea ink. Now, Secret Sea and Cloud Cover are the two colors that are in here, but it is really a monochromatic card because they are just variations of the same color. If you were to repeatedly stamp off the Secret Sea, you're going to get a color that is Cloud Cover. And in fact, because Cloud Cover came out, when it came out in ink form, it did not hold its color. And so that's why there is no Cloud Cover ink pad. But a lot of demonstrators were just like, no problem, just stamp off a few times with your Secret Sea and you're good to go. I'm going to die cut this, but before I do that, I'm going to also get out a few more pieces. I'm going to get out, let's see, if I bring this back in here, I need some nesting. I need something that this fits on when it stands upright. So probably this third largest one. If I can get it out of there. Yeah, that's probably going to work. And then the fourth largest one. Yeah. So I'm going to die cut a piece of Secret Sea cardstock from this largest one and a piece of cloud cover from the smaller one. And I will use the die that is part of the Gallery Blooms bundle to die cut that flower out. Here's my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Plate 1, 2, a number 3 plate. Now let's go ahead and take my largest arch. I'm going to run this through, and remember, because this has a very straight edge here, we're going to make sure it goes through at an angle. And because the paper is kind of wide, I'm going to just turn that instead of the paper. There's one piece. And then I'm going to run the cloud cover through in the same way. These are all fairly large dies, so it does take a couple passes. Oops, that's off my page here. Okay. Helps if you crank the machine in the correct direction. Imagine how that works. And then finally, we've got this one to put through. And I'm almost done with my machine, but not quite. I'm going to bring in my Damask Designs embossing folder. I'm going to take that smaller of the two arches and insert it so that these designs are going vertically on there. Because I'm embossing, I'm going to take away all but that base plate, put in my folder. Ooh, let's see, is this a 3D? This is not a 3D folder. So because it's not a 3D folder, I want to do plate number 1, plate number 3, my folder, and then a top number 3 plate. Remember, you put your folded edge of the folder through first. Can you see this little design that's on here? Just makes it a little bit prettier, I think. We are going to adhere that to the slightly larger arch. That just nests in there very nicely. There we go. We're going to take our flower that we have here. I'm going to put this on an angle, I think, right like that. And I'm gluing that down because I still need to put a sentiment on and a little embellishment. So let's do this. I'm going to attach this to my card, and we're going to, so it's going to be an interesting fold because it just kind of pops forward. It's just a little bit different here, and I need to put in some I think I'm going to bring in some ribbon. This is on the last chance list. I do need to adhere this down, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, when I'm adhering this down, I want to make my borders on the left, bottom, and right all about the same. So I'm looking and being very careful about where I keep my glue. My glue is going to have to stay below my thumb here, because I do not want to seal my card shut. So let me make sure that I did that right. I did. Great. Make sure it's on there good. Which it is. I've got this ribbon going through this middle piece right here. I'm going to just tie a little bow there. And I'm going to stick a sentiment right over the top. Now, if you put this around the whole card, it's not going to open up, so don't do that. Hide it under that first fold. All right, let's see. That's pretty good, I think. Trim the ends when I make sure I've got it the way I want it. I need another scrap of my cloud cover. Let's bring in the word celebrate. Celebrate is in, you can use any sentiments you want, especially since the Gallery Blooms does not have any sentiments in it. I am bringing in a sister bundle, the Beautiful Motifs, because this is part of the Beautiful Gallery suite of products. But these really don't have a lot to do with, the stamps don't have a lot to do with the Gallery Blooms. There's some beautiful ornate greenery, flowers, things like that that complement the Gallery Blooms nicely, but this is what we are working with. I just needed a word, so I grabbed celebrate because I think this would make a beautiful winter wedding card. So because celebrate's fairly thin, and it is about 1.5 inches, a little over 1.5 inches long, I'm going to make this 2 inches by, say, 1/2 inch. We'll see how this works out. You know what? I might like this 3/4 of an inch better. Let's see. We can always change our mind. There's celebrate. Yeah, I think I like the 3/4 one. And we're going to put that right here. I'm going to slide this bow over just a little bit. And if you wanted to tack that down with a glue dot, you can, but here's another way that you can get this to stay down. I'm going to take some mini dimensionals, or you can cut a large one in half. I'm going to put those up in the corner and down on the other one. They can go in the corners too, doesn't matter. And then it sticks right over, on over that ribbon. And it's kind of keeping that ribbon there and holding it there. We can go ahead. I think I want to make this just a little bit smaller. There we go. Trim the ends. There we go. Of course, if this is a wedding card, it's going to need some bling. Let's put some of this bling in here. Put this down here. I think one more. Okay. That's pretty. All we need is a spot for our sentiment. And our sentiment is going to go right in here. Now what you can also do for this piece is you can make it a gift card holder. You could take a couple glue dots and add a gift card right there. Or if you wanted to make another layer of cardstock, you could make a little space for some cash to go, or a check. Do people still write checks? I don't know. I do. I'm going to take the smaller of the two arches that we used, and I'm going to die cut another piece, but this time it's going to be white. All right. Now if we open this, we want this to be here so we can read it, but we want it to be invisible when it's closed. So this is what I like to do. Remember, you want it on the adhesive on the back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this right so it nests inside this secret C piece, and then I'm going to close the card. So that's going to put that right where it should go. And that's where I can write my inside sentiment. Or since I used the beautiful motifs, I can go ahead and do the wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. Pretty sentiment for a wedding. Whoa, almost upside down. There we go. And that is our card. Now, most of our cards from Tune In Tuesday were much simpler, and generally my lunchtime looks are the more simple cards that I'm doing. But this one was not hard. It was just a little bit of die cutting, so but I didn't have to color. I didn't, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 die cuts and emboss. That's it. Otherwise, it's a pretty simple card. Were you able to catch my class on Tuesday? My Tune In Tuesday class? We used the same designer series paper, Beautiful Gallery, and we used the same design technique of monochromatic cards. So now we have 4 cards that were relatively simple to put together, and I'm going to show you on Sunday during my 12 Sundays of Christmas series how you can package them and present them as a gift to someone this holiday season. I hope you'll watch me on Sunday. It airs at 3 o'clock, but of course, if you can't make it for 3, you can always catch the replay. Thank you once again for taking the time to tune into my videos and help support my channel and my small business. You really are appreciated, and I can't thank you enough. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you on Sunday for my 12 Sundays of Christmas series.